From Nigeria, aka Neither Goat, to Cam Newton, everyone had something to say about Clarissa and Papoose this week. Let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Gangalee. And that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms if you want to check out my music. Look for the red glasses, look for the locks. You tell me if I can rock, okay? Okay. But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk the Podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crimes, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, I'm talking about it, okay? Okay. So as you can see, we're doing a weekend review on the world of claphoos. So we know at the start of the week, it started out with the slap heard around the world. Then it started out with the bang. Then it followed up with a bang. Oh, excuse me, a band. And then from there, she went wrestling. She went to Claphoomania instead of WrestleMania. You get it? Claphoomania. And then from there, she crashed out on Friday. You know, I think she thought she was gonna eat with that live, right? She was like, calling Alicia Baumgartner or everything but a child of God, if you will, right? And using Adrian Broner as the proof. Like, what? Talk about case dismissed. But anyway, so we covered a lot of that this week. But you know me, I like to kind of scour these internet streets and see what I may have missed when it comes to our girl Clarissa. And it seems to be that we may have missed a few things, right? I'm noticing, and I told you this, I kind of observed this, I should say, on my reactions a couple of episodes back. I said, a couple of years ago, you can say that each social platform was different, right? So you would go to like Facebook for family, Twitter for news and, sports, Instagram for like music, jokes or whatever, TikTok for dances, comedy, etc., right? But now everything is kind of calibrated, right? And that's what I'm seeing it, where everything is calibrated. You literally can go from X to Instagram to Snapchat to Facebook to TikTok, etc., and you're going to be seeing the same information, right? You actually might see deeper, like depending on how deep you're willing to slide on the rabbit holes, if you will. It might take you deeper depending on which platform you're on. But for the most part, I'm starting to see it becoming calibrated. And the reason why I say that is when I first started reacting to Clarissa last year, and I would post, one or two of my shorts on Facebook, people would be like, oh, why I don't understand this. Why are you hating on her? She's a good girl. Like, I'm confused. And the whole thing is like, I'm not by any means the conductor of the hate train for Clarissa. I'm merely just reacting. I'm a reaction channel. So I'm reacting to everything that's being put out, by Clarissa, by her team, if you will, and then by people that are victims of Clarissa, if you will. But now I'm noticing that the tone of the people are changing. Like on Facebook, they're like, yo, I see what you were talking about. I understand now. People are becoming more calibrated with like maybe the rest of YouTube, if you will. Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, is becoming more calibrated with Instagram, if you will, right? So you're not really, I should say, Clarissa, is not really going to be able to successfully divert narratives, if you will. But so I'm noticing a lot of that has been taking place where we're seeing a lot more calibration and a lot more people are like, wait, hold on, we missed this, right? Because the thing that happens is if you're on a platform like, say, Instagram is where Remy blew it up. But let's say Twitter, X. Let's say X did not consider you problematic, right? They did not consider Claressa Shields problematic. They just was like, she's a boxer, she's an athlete, she's an Olympic gold medalist. That's what we know her for. And they just kind of like revered her for that, right? If you just kept the boxing over there, no one would know about Papoose or Remy or anything, right? But when Layla Ali went live on, well, not live, but when Layla Ali went on YouTube, you stopped going live on YouTube and went over to X to air out the same grievances about what's going on YouTube. What happens then is people are like, well, what did I miss on YouTube? right? So they start coming over to seeing what's going on over here, getting some insightful information, and then they're bringing that back to their respective platforms that they're more comfortable, communicating on. So we're seeing the calibration of social media when it comes to Clarissa and Papoose, right? And really, what I wanted to do was kind of like go through these internet streets for my weekend review for you all to see what I missed. So that's my joint. What did I miss? But also just to kind of see what we missed and then see how the streets are feeling about Clarissa these days, right? Every time I do these temperature checks, some of them are like more empathetic towards her. A lot of them that I've been covering for the last couple of months have been empathetic towards her, been like pleading with her to open her eyes, please, 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 this guy is using you, like so much of that stuff, right? So I wanted to see, I haven't really done a good temperature check in my weekend reviews in a minute because I've been trying to keep up with Clarissa and YouTube talkers. I love you, my talkers out there. So I've been in the trenches for you all. But I said I wanted to do that with this one. Let's do a temperature check, especially now that I'm observing the calibration of the internet when it comes to Clarissa right now and Papoose, if you will. I wanted to see if the temperature is changing, what's going on. So we're really going to react to things that I didn't touch on, overall. So we're going to start out with Nigeria, um, night ago. And something I was thinking about the other day, who called themselves the GOAT first? Because I know Nigeria raps. Was she neither GOAT first, or was it, Clarissa the GOAT, and then she calls herself the GOAT? Either way, I feel like that's weird between the two of them. But if anyone out there knows that answer, hit me up with the marker. Who called themselves the GOAT first? Nigeria or Clarissa? But anyway, so we're gonna start out here because there was some interesting things, right? And Nigeria went live to answer some questions, and I'm mad about that, guys. YouTube talkers, my talkers, I love you. I be in the trenches, I be scouring it, but I missed this one. So I want to say shout out to Bro Real Life, aka JR Curry ND, which is the tag you see up there. But his channel, I think, is called Bro Real Life on YouTube. So shout out to you out there because he caught it. He caught the live when Nigeria was basically answering questions for Cash App. So if you cashed after like $25 or $5, whatever it was, she was answering your questions as a result of being paid to do so, which is interesting. So I'm not staying long because, of course, she was up there longer than I planned to be up here. But I wanted to kind of go through a little bit of it all and see what had my spidey senses tingling, if you will. So without further ado, let's get into. We're gonna start it out with Night Ago and see what she has to say.
Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. Cash me $20 and I'll answer your question. Cash me $20. $2,000 ain't gonna get better with motherfucking pain. I tell you that. I really wanted to fuck Pat. I really wanted to fuck Pat. Y'all be on this bitch saying anything. Pat don't even want to fuck Pat. Go ahead on now.
What did you? Cause that out the gate, that statement that she just made, coupled with the face that I just paused, zoom in if you need to. That face says it all to me. What do you think she meant by that? I know that they're not best of friends these days, and they're trying to air each other out to make one look worse than the other. I get that. I get that. We're in the trenches here. But what do you think she meant by that? She said, and I'm gonna go back because I don't want to mince Nigeria's words. Let's go back.
I really wanted to fuck Pat.
Listen.
Y'all be on this bitch saying anything. Pat don't even want to fuck Pat. Go ahead on now.
She said Pap don't even want to F Pap. Go ahead on now. So what does that mean? It can mean a multiple things, multiple plethora of things. Maybe the first thing that I get from it from the ether is that Pap is not affectionate or sexual or showing sexual affection towards Clarissa. So it's not a sexual situation. That's my first thought. I'm pulling from the ether. Pap don't even want to F Pap. Pap don't even want to F Pap. Who Pap want to F? So I feel like she's insinuating that there's not a sexual attraction between the two of them, or Pat perhaps does not initiate intimacy. That's what I'm gathering from that. I could be reaching, guys. I'm just reacting. I'm pulling a little bit from the ether in the meantime, but let's get back into it. What y'all think? Hit me at the marker.
That ain't even my type, baby. I like a nigga who like to lay low. Jet said, me and my man, we on the alley hoe. Stop playing. A nigga gotta pay to play over here. Know that. Stop playing. Stop playing. And I ain't never want to fuck no nigga my bitch is fucking on. Let's start there. Not to go get this.
Mind you, there's babies in the
Not to
background
go
crying.
get this. Not
Whose unattended baby is that in the background? And what kind of, like, I don't know. Now, for example, even though I know there's YouTube guidelines and everything, I know we could pretty much, we're adults, we can speak adult like, within reason. But I still always feel uncomfortable around the children speaking just any kind of way. Maybe that's the old school in me, but it's like you're talking about getting DICK, you're talking about F and pap, using a lot of profanity, and we hear a child within earshot. So if I can hear her, she can hear you. Am I making any sense? My mom used to always say that. Like, if I hear you, you hear me, so you need to go to your room, when they talking grown people business. So I don't know. That was just random to the left, but let's continue.
to go get this. Let's start there. Did y'all not hear what they were saying about me on the interviews? Or y'all missed the part where they said Nigeria get the niggas. I think y'all missed that part. Nigeria not getting no niggas. You right. You right. Nigeria's engaged. God damn, y'all got me talking about I get niggas. I don't get niggas no more. God damn.
That's how you know it'd be all full of ish, in my opinion. Because I would, like, if someone be like, oh, she could talk, don't get no man, or she can't get a man, I'm leading with my man. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you go talk to that dude that's in there. You tell me how I got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't. I would lead with my man first. I'm not gonna prove to y'all that I could pull a plethora of dudes. All right. So that's how you know that's that for the streets mentality. What's that song that Maserati Bud had? She for the streets. Okay, let's continue.
I just, you know what, babe? I don't get niggas. I used to get niggas. This is what I'm saying. I used to get niggas. I don't get no more. But don't play with Night Ago.
Sound like
how
she
much
will
is none of
still.
that? Are y'all fucking cool? Papoose ain't got shit for Night Ago. Nothing. Fuck y'all even be talking about. Even if he wasn't with Claressa, I wouldn't want him. The fuck? Is y'all fucking slow or something? Y'all, I think y'all a little off or something, because what the fuck do with America?
You heard her. She had to catch herself. So allegedly, and you guys, I don't know, but they say allegedly, Claressa has an NDA on Nigeria, and Pap has an NDA on Claressa. So we'll see how this plays out. But let's go back a little bit there, because did you hear what she said? She said, what am I going to do with a married man? So she's basically, which we already knew, because we can Google. That's Claressa's favorite thing, Google. We can there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of internet detectives, if you will, that will go out there and find stuff. I'm talking about, if you see half of the stuff that my talkers send me, talkers, I love you. That's why I feel like I gotta do some members only lives, because I think I feel safe doing it that way. I don't know. But if you see half of the stuff that I get, I'd be like, yo, is internet detective. Like, you really don't know what people do for a living, right? And it's the set of skills people have. But anyway, all that to say is, she said, so all that's to say, for me to say, is it's no news, it's no secret that there is no divorce between Remy and Papoose. That's no secret. But her saying right there and making that face as I paused, I said, what am I going to do with a married man? What I'm pulling from it, the energy leads me to believe that Nigeria may have asked her once or twice, like, are you doing the right thing here? But I think she alludes to that in here. So let's get to it.
I'ma just shut the fuck up. Like, please don't play with somebody else, for real. For real, go play with somebody else. Y'all gotta go play with somebody else, for real. For real. For real, they gotta stop. Y'all gotta cash at me for me to talk. I ain't agree with him. nasty. Nothing. I don't agree
They
with
asked
shit.
her some
I
interesting
don't even know no
questions too.
Pat, Claressa, Shalia. No, I don't know nobody. I know not to go. And that's it. Thank you. I promise you, I know no one. I don't know anyone. Thank you, love. Because I am looking crazy right now. I know they're gonna be talking about me, but this is my natural. Like, yeah, stop playing. For real. And I got hella
You know
hair.
that was a
You feel me? Here with it. You feel me?
you know that was a shot. She was like, I know y'all gonna say I look crazy, but this is my natural face. Yeah. And and I have hair. You know that was a because I'm telling you, in my opinion, these are some of the same people that encourage Clarissa to use those filters. You know what I'm saying? Oh, just put a filter on, you don't gotta worry about it. And it's like a drug. You know, people be addicted to vanity. Beauty, money. People get addicted to it. You can't. It's not just drugs, gambling, the win. A lot of things can be addictive. Sex. Food. You know, liquor. A lot of things can be addictive. That filter, I feel like this is what I'm feeling. People like Nida Goat was savvy with it, right? With the filters, and then hooked Clarissa up with the filters. And then Clarissa went overboard and OD'd with the filters, relied on the filters to the point now where it's like, yo, she looks completely different without it, right? That's her handiwork. That's my opinion. That's Nigeria's handiwork.
Yes. I know how bitches operate. I hug with bitches. I know bitches got fake pages. It's all
She's
good
talking
though.
about
I
Clarissa.
never get on a fake on no what I do, TT? You know, it's getting overwhelming. Like I
She couldn't even finish that because she know that she's gotten on these pages. She's probably worked a burner account or two for Clarissa. We've heard her. I tell you this from the February reactions when they was in training camp, and she was like, "Clock it, clock it, clock it, clock it," and I was so irritated. Like, why is she even there? This is major distraction, because you should be focusing on the win and the boxing match, training, being your best mentally, physically, emotionally. And you got these people over here gassing you about Papoose. Tell him Papoose, yeah, man, clock it. Y'all remember? Because I know that was something that irritated me. And look,
need you as a secretary. You have to come and you have to be next to me, bitch. We just finna start taking trips to go get on these
that's why
podcasts,
she
and
ain't
I need
finished
you
that one.
next to me,
Because she
bitch.
knows she
You
be.
know what we talked about already. You know what's going on. But this shit is getting overwhelming. I can't even go live and regularly have a drink without having 300 views. I ain't
That's
never,
a whole.
like, oh, I know I'm the internet queen. Literally. Been doing this internet shit.
She's drinking that whole bottle. She's talking about she can't have a drink. When I say a drink, I'm thinking like a glass, a serving. Yo. But this is the behavior's consistent with all of them. And my mom says, "Show me your friends and I tell you who you are." And these are Clarissa's friends, regardless if they fell out or not. These are the ones that were super close to her, and these are the ones that encouraged her behavior, like DMing Remy, sliding off her papoose, all that stuff. A lot, half the time, they probably were alibis for her while she was creeping with papoose for the last 6 years. For Tony, you know, because I told we'll get into it though, but I've been putting together some timelines, so we'll get into that though.
Before a friend. Let's start there. But just on a regular taking a shot tip, it's 338 people. That stole money. Not a goat ain't never stole shit. I might stole some rental property. But money? Ha! No. Boo.
You heard it. She said Naughty Goat never stole no money. I might have stolen some rental property, and you saw that face she made because she took the grandmother's house. Yo, when I tell you this is the craziness, this is the disrespect, and this is the part that I do empathize with Clarissa in. And then some people be like, "Nah, I don't empathize with her." And then it's like I teeter on the edge. Part of me will empathize, but then the other part of me kind of pulls back a little bit because it's like you kind of went wild on everyone, right? You were so busy, and I said this to her. You guys, y'all my witness. If not, go back. I got a whole podcast dedicated to my reactions to the world of Clarissa. I've said it a couple of months back. I was like, you're so busy looking at us, you know, over here on the internet, worried about what we're saying, and you're so busy focused on every move Remy make that your biggest enemy is right there in your camp. I said this about them. when they was all together in Miami in the training camp. Remember, she was in the kitchen eating her rice and her fish or whatever else, and bringing food in the bedroom, and you heard him in the background, clock it, clock it. That time frame. I said it. I said, you so worried about us and worried about what we think or what we'll do, or saying that that Papoose wouldn't want none of us. But then I said, you worried about us, but there's gonna be people right over there that's gonna want to taste a slice of the cake. All right. And I'm not saying that Nighty Goat doesn't know what she does. I'm not saying it's her necessarily. But the biggest enemies tend to be the people that are close to you like this. Let's continue.
Never, never. I've never even had to steal money. I stole out of stores. I was one of the top boosters. Let's talk about it. But stealing
This
money?
is who she has around
I ain't
her.
never did that, baby. Wrong person. Hi, cousin. Oh, my cousin is out here. I love y'all. Oh, I gotta get some money.
Why don't you just make a drink in a glass? That's so crazy to me.
I ain't never stole money from nobody ever. Literally. Claressa will tell you all that out her own mouth. And if she tell you otherwise, she's a weirdo. Because
Maybe it's the old school New York in me, but is that wino behavior? Remember like Good Times, Ned the Wino, and they would have like the liquor in a brown paper bag and drinking definitely, directly out of the bottle. Drinking directly out of the bottle like that and then mixing it with the Red Bull. Like instead of just making a drink, like ice, some of the liquor, some of the Red Bull, mix it together and have a drink, a proportion size serving. Is this wino behavior, drinking from the bottle like this? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I ain't never stole no money from nobody. That ain't never been a problem. That bitch done left her purse with me with motherfucking 30K in that. Y'all don't listen.
She ain't steal money, but she stole the house.
Going on. Instead of a motherfucker taking accountability like I did when the reason why we fell out so hard was on the table and I took accountability. Motherfuckers can't do that. Motherfuckers don't want to do that. But anyways, yeah, I'm a very friendly person. I'm so quick to be somebody's fucking friend. Literally. Like I said, if I got herpes, so be it. Do any of y'all in here got me? I'm confused. Y'all want me to say I don't have herpes? I do have herpes. Why does it matter if I say I do or don't? You can say anything. God got something better for me. Just for me standing on business.
The ratchetness of it all. Let's continue.
And stand loyal. Because the NDA don't mean shit to me. I don't know why y'all think that. A bitch that's broke. Come on now. An NDA don't mean nothing to a bitch that's broke. Come on now.
She's all over the place on this live, y'all.
Girl, they told me to shave my underarms, guys.
You see what I'm saying? Random.
I want to fuck Pat. I'm jealous of Claressa. And a whole bunch of other shit. But, you know what I got to say? Pat made us sign an NDA. That's right there. That was never her idea, but it's like not about her or nobody else. We're not going to talk about that. Yeah.
Pat made her sign an NDA. I believe it, though. When this first started circulating last week, I said, I don't, I got to do a little bit more research before I speak on it or what have you. I've seen, Shalita speak on it. But then, despite all of whoever's speaking on it, I said, let me go look. Let me go look at Claressa. And even down to the recent live that she did on Friday, where she made her futile attempt, if you will, to I don't know, retaliate to MVP and Alicia Baumgartner. You know that live, that debacle of a live. Even up there, she wasn't mentioning Remy. I noticed like right towards the end of her live on Friday, Claressa was like, and you remember, like, she's still talking about MVP. The whole live was about Alicia Baumgartner MVP. But she said towards the end of the live, she was like, and you saw how Fight Week, you heard the song that they were playing. You heard it. You saw the look of her eye, the crazy look. She was like, you heard the song they were playing. I was like, yes, girl, Remy, why you effing lying? You heard the song. And it was like, I guess we were supposed to, because they played the song, that was supposed to justify, I don't know what for her. First of all, the performance, I mean, not the performance, the boxing match was in New York. It dropped right around the time of the boxing match. It was jumping, So hot song in New York, they're playing it. All the girls are going to use it. Why not? Why not? And then honestly, it is your Achilles heel. Remy is Clarissa's Achilles heel. But I even noticed when she said that, she did not say, "Oh yeah, I was playing Remy's song." She was like, "You heard the song that they was playing. You heard it. You know." And that was literally the closest that she's gotten to mentioning Remy. So I believe Nigeria, there is an NDA in place. My opinion. I don't have any facts on it. I don't have any dog in the race. But my opinion, there is an NDA. The reason why I say that is she does not mention her name. She don't even she don't even try to sound out the vowels. She don't mention her name at all. And then the taunting from Remy. Are you scared to say my name? Is you shy? Because I feel like it might be a a volatile response from Papoose, if you will, if she goes against that NDA. And then beyond that, it's like a Birdman rub. They kind of want you to crash out so they can kind of get in your pockets or not have to pay you the rest of that contract. You see what I'm saying? So mention my wife so that way I can go ahead and clean out the rest of your pockets without pretending to be your boyfriend. Am I making any sense there? So I believe that there's an NDA in place because it's kind of like it's a high probability that she's going to breach that contract. She teeters on the lines every day of breaching the contract and mentioning Remy. So it's just a matter of time. And then when she does, Birdman rub. Win Records will win because they don't have to pay her no more money. Salida will win because they don't have to pay her no more money. And Pap will win because he can take her money for breach of contract. So when she says that, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. But let's continue.
That's her theory. That was never her idea, but it's like not about her or nobody else. We're not gonna talk about that. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I can't be on live with y'all because y'all messy and then I'm messier. So I around a minute, say some
She's
shit and just don't stop.
You
So let
just
me
said
just shut the
something.
fuck up, cause no.
Around the time that the
So
NDA
then, shout out to Geisha 305 and shout out to Shalita, aka Remy Savage. They went live this week as well, and they basically were discussing a plethora of things around Claressa Shields, mainly the housing situation between Nigeria and Clarissa and the rest of the family, if you will, and the tax office and the mayor's office. There's a lot going on there. But she said a little bit around the NDA that I wanted to kind of just add to this to kind of expand a little bit on what Nigeria has said and done. So let's get into what Geisha 305 and what Shalita has were discussing around Clarissa's NDA or alleged NDA that Papoose made her sign.
was given to her, and then like a week or two
Listen to what she said.
and around the time that the NDA was given to her, and then like a week or two later, she started giving them to everybody around her. And that's why Clarissa, I mean, that's why Nigeria be trying to go through everybody else to leak the information that she wants to be leaked and talk about. Or she'll talk about Papoose and the shit she saw with Papoose because she don't have an NDA with Papoose. She got one with Clarissa.
Craziness, right? So we're gonna pause it right here because that's what do you feel about that? What Shalita said. I think it kind of went down that way too because Shalita, not Shalita, excuse me, Clarissa's friends look like they will talk, right? The only one that looks like they may not talk, I don't know. I don't even know. I'm thinking about the friend circle. Like we know Crystal's her PR, so that's business. Crystal probably don't see her unless it's time to fly out or get flued out, if you will. But I'm thinking of like the Nini, I think her name is, with the light skinned girl with the chin, that just had the baby. Nigeria, Beatty. Beatty's like the assistant. I haven't seen Beatty since the fight, guys. What's up with Beatty? Beatty was the short, thick dread girl that was with her throughout the whole camp. She was very like she had like a good spirit to her. She always kind of was the one bringing the Bible, if that makes any sense. And I like Beatty. I thought Beatty kind of was a good energy around her. But I don't see Beatty. I haven't seen Beatty since the fight. Now, Beatty was on the stage at the fight when, well, at the weigh-in with Franchon Cruz when she was up there, showing her ass with the rest of them. So I do remember that. But after the fight, y'all keep me honest. Have y'all seen Beatty? The light skinned dread girl that's supposed to be the assistant. But anyway, are the friends that I'm thinking about when I think about her friends. And I think about the support system she has around her. It does not seem like any of them are genuine to her, you know? But anyway, nonetheless, let's continue down this weekend review. So Papoose, while Clarissa was fighting for her life with MVP and Alicia Baumgardner, and she's trying to like justify her actions on Twitter, and really Twitter and Instagram is where she was really trying to justify her actions this week, right? But the crazy thing about it is when when it happened. So when did the fight happen? I think the fight was on Saturday. Or was it Sunday? The fight might have been on Sunday, right? We didn't really know about the smack until like say Monday. It started circulating, or let's say whenever it was. So let's say Sunday night it started circulating that, oh, did she slap Alicia Baumgardner? And then she went online and confirmed that she did slap Alicia Baumgardner. And then she said, "Ooh, tomorrow's gonna be a movie." Do y'all remember that in her tweets? So it was like she confirmed that she smacked Alicia Baumgardner, and she was looking forward to the uproar that it was going to cause on the internet the next day, because I think she thought that people were going to be like, "Oh, Clarissa ain't no joke. She's smacking chicks out there. Yo, I told you I don't mess with Clarissa. She no joke, right?" And it started out that way. The bots started out the morning like that, but then people started to wake up. Real people, not the bots. And they were like, "Wait, hold up. She did what?" And then she went online and tried to gloat about it. And then she's looking forward to the reactions about it. Like she's looking forward to people glazing her or praising her for smacking her. And then it didn't work out that way. And then she got met with that ban. And I don't know, because I don't know how it's working with her team and everything. But immediately after the ban was announced, she went and did a wrestling match. I don't know if that was something that was you know, pre-confirmed prior to the banning, because I feel like if it was, well, ain't no telling with her, but I feel like if it was, she would have promoted it, right? There was no promotion behind it. She just pops up at these people's event and she's wrestling now. And I felt like maybe that was another ploy to throw people off. You know, like, hey, don't look at the band over there by MVP. Look at me wrestling. So the wrestling ended up being more funny. So you got banned. You thought it was gonna be a flex that you smacked the girl. Instead, you got banned. Then you try to go wrestle to kind of take attention away from that. That just added more fuel to the flames, and people are laughing like, "What are you doing?" Right? Yeah. I think after the wrestling situation, she should have just chilled, flew out quietly to wherever she was going, do whatever she needed to do, and then just chill. But no, the whole time it was like, I have to come back. I did not get the reciprocation or the response that I wanted, the results that I wanted, so I'm going to work on it. So she took the next couple of days from Wednesday to Friday to get her notes together and research and pull out tweets from Jake Paul from 2021 to have receipts to prove how they've been hating her on her for all this time. But it kind of showed the other way. It kind of showed that you've been really hating on them all this time. And then you've been showing up to their events all this time. Because if these people have been telling you since 2021 that they don't rock with you, why were you going to their events? Okay, so I've been down those roads already. So while that was going on simultaneously, this week, Papoose put out a tweet or post dedicating his, love to Clarissa. And he says, integrity is the essence of everything successful. Domani Cosmetics, Claressa Shields. So he could be just honestly promoting his daughter's brand, cosmetic line. He's tagging Claressa Shields in it. Is he talking to Claressa Shields? Because he ain't talking to us. Is he talking to Claressa Shields in this post, guys? Integrity is the essence of everything successful. Claressa Shields, and then he tags Chanel 9, so his daughter and Clarissa in this. Integrity is the essence of everything successful. I think he's talking to them because he can't be talking to us. It cannot be. But anyway, so let's look at some of the comments that were rolling up. So the first one says, she looks a hot mess. Everybody in black looking good, and you in red jumpsuit looking like Rainbow. I think they meant Rainbow the shop. They said, child, he's standing 10 toes down on his cash cow. And somebody said, she looked like she musty. That wasn't me, guys. And look, laughing. And they said integrity would be her representing women's boxing like a true champion. Instead, she's a mean spirited, hateful, spiteful bully with no class. And somebody said, yes, y'all looking to F good, right? So it's a combination of, majority, in my opinion, of people laughing or, not agreeing with them. One person is like, yo, he's going to stand by his cash cow. One person says she's musty. And everybody says she look a hot mess. But speaking of musty, look at these next scenes, which I was like, was Claressa. So, fun fact: there is a troll that comes in my comments when I post, and I do think it is Claressa. A lot of you, respond to it. I respond to it, and this the wording and the verbiage leads me to believe it's Claressa. And Claressa, send you an e-kiss out there. Thank you for joining the conversation. It's no hate or no shade. Hopefully, you'll listen and stop fighting. Stop fighting us anyway. Keep the fighting in the ring and then kind of take and embrace some advice. Maybe you didn't have the sister circle and the mama circle that you needed. And you know what? It's okay. A lot of us didn't. A lot of us had to form our own sister circles. A lot of us had to self soothe. You know what I'm saying? So at least we're trying. And because of that, I think a lot of us are trying to be that sister circle for you. Layla included, Remy included. You know? So, nonetheless, that is a troll, right? And they got so mad at me because I said she don't look like she be bathing properly or bathe often, often enough. And I think in particular, I said, consider taking midday baths, right? Because I was like, you're bathing in the morning, then you go out and you just working, and then you're high strung all day. You're high strung and upset about whatever people saying about you online, so you're sweating profusely all throughout the day just from your anxiety and high strungness. Bathe. It helps reset. So I said that, and they tried to chew me out. They called me a brokey. They called me a grandma. It was some funny stuff in there. We was having a good time. Good times. Good times. Claressa Troll. But they were really upset about me talking about her bathing or her hygiene, if you will. And then this popped up the very next day. So I think my niece would be listening to me. Now, steam is not a full bath. I still want you to get into the shower, let the water hit you, put some soap in a rag. And I'm not saying just let the water hit you, soap up the rag and take that soapy rag and go to town on that body. It's going to help you feel better. Everything will feel better after a bath, a good shower. But I don't want to, baby steps. And we're here. So she's in a sauna and steam is hitting her body. So good job. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys.
Oh, wait. Sitting in the sauna, baby.
We hear water. Now we know she's not gonna bathe, but water, steam.
Oh, I love
After you steam out, though, you should rinse off. Rinse off all of that. But we're getting close, guys. We're getting closer to showers.
I was just sitting here thinking.
And I'm gonna pause. That last piece, she was like, "I don't turn down no fades." Right. So she's been playing her song in hopes of, I don't know, one day Remy would hear it. I don't know, but in my mind, I feel like Claressa is not happy with the rap scene of her and Papoose' rap scene, if you will. Like Papoose was supposed to be like he gassed her like he was the best lyrical miracle ever, and it's not conveying over as he sold it to her, right? So now Clarissa's like, I'm gonna take it into my own hands because she even said it like I told Papoose like, don't wait, we don't wait over here, we winners over here, right? So she's taking it to her own hands by putting out these songs in hopes of it being like it could start some friction against Remy. Girl, you got to rhyme for about a good 15 years. And I'm not even BSing you. A good 15 years in the studio, like a work shift, for real. Like as long as you be in your outfits a day is as long as a day you have to be in the studio recording for 15 years straight. and then we'll start to see, if you're serious about it, then we'll see some improvement there. But I will never, ever, ever insult myself or any other, female rapper by giving you acknowledgement there. I won't do it. I won't do that. But nonetheless, now we're gonna get into some other content creators who've been voicing their opinions about Clarissa. Really more so, and this week I've gotten a lot over from Facebook, and I wanted to do that because I feel like Facebook was probably one of the last places to get a good clear picture of what Clarissa's doing, if that makes any sense. I feel like there's still a couple of one or two stragglers on Instagram that might be, windmill in the comments for her. But for the most part, a lot of people are like, yo, this is getting ridiculous. I'm seeing where people are like, yo, I used to windmill in the comments for her, but I can't even fight this no more. This is crazy because every day is something, right? So, nonetheless, we're gonna go over here and shout out to Fornesia, and I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Is either Fornesia Brewster or Fornesia Brewster. So, shout out to you, mamas. Give you an e-kiss there. But let's listen to what Miss Brewster is saying about Clarissa, or what opinions she feels, or how she feels, if you will, about Clarissa
And I was like,
or her
I'm
situation.
watching like Claressa Shields, and I'm just like, girl, your platform, your platform, your platform, sis. Listen, right? Okay, I'm honest. I have messed with a married man before in my life. Maybe a couple of two or three or four or five. I don't know. So anyway, not necessarily knowing they was married when I met them, but once I found out, I didn't give a fuck because I was already doing what I was doing. So my a older lady I remember once told me like the weight that you get from messing with a married person ain't even worth it. And man, I promise you, she ain't never told not one lie. Not one. And Claressa Shields, baby, girl, that man, I don't give a dang. A divorce, he ain't. He's still married, and you carrying that weight of that
Facts.
messing with a married man. And don't lose your shit, girl. Don't lose your shit, girl. It's so much dick out here. It's so many men that can give opportunities. You do, and the fact that he know himself, he should not be dealing with you is crazy. Cause they
Facts.
be knowing. You just stigmatized. Girl, get you some more so you can break the cycle. I promise you, don't lose it all, baby. Don't lose it all. Cause all he gonna do is go to his wife. And if he die tomorrow, you don't get nothing but a memory. I'm just saying,
Facts.
sis.
I'm gonna pause it right there really quickly because I gotta give her a round of applause. And it kind of, I told you my story before. I was young and dumb. We all been there, right? And for me, honestly, my time, I kind of, with my story, it was only one time that happened to me. I was like 19 years old, and I didn't know he was an older gentleman. Well, I'm not gonna say it like that, but he was like 24, 25, right? Older than me at 19, right? And I didn't know. Like I'm fresh out of high school, fresh into college. I'm young, green, fresh out of Catholic school, if you will, right? So this is legit my first adult interaction or a relationship, if you will, right? Like a first, like, oh my God, I'm doing grown things away from home, in school, etc., right? Met this guy, thought we had a lot in common. I didn't even know that the dude was married, right? Fell in love. You know what I'm saying? Because, you're open, nose open, 18, 19-year old, being treated nicely and feeling like Cinderella, right? I'm open. It probably wasn't even 6 months and I was open, you know? And then honestly, around that time, I realized like, yo, I'm not the only one here in this situation. And dumb because I'm more open. And I'm like, well, if he's treating me like this, why go anywhere? And that was the worst mistake I made in my life because everything for me was downhill from there. Money, I always had money. Money struggling. Feeling like I've never was a bum, never had like no clothing issues or financial issues. Bum, financial issues. You see what I'm saying? And then you start to look around and then it consumes you, right? It was a point in time where everything you start is like, I wonder what they're thinking. I wonder if this person's, I wonder if they're thinking about, it just becomes an obsession. And then the wife becomes an obsession, right? And it's not healthy. It is not fair to you, right? You can stunt your growth. And I'm just telling you a little bit of, because I was a kid, right? And I've forgiven 19-year-old Gongali. I've forgiven her. I've hugged her and I've moved on, right? Because she was a baby. She didn't know no better. And I think that's why part of me also be trying over here with Claressa, right? Like, oh my goodness. Because, like I said, I was 19 and I was in the trenches. It wasn't just a 6 month situation. It was about a 2 or 3 year situation. So I'm not gonna act like, oh yeah, whatever. I woke up and I was smart. I was in the trenches, looking crazy, feeling like my mentals were going, looking like a crazy person, you know? And I'm just grateful, A, there was no internet back then. I'm grateful for that. And grateful, B, that it happened to me when I was 19 and not 29, not 39. You know what I'm saying? But I'm mad it happened at all, to be honest with you. But she's right. Miss Brewster is correct. The old lady who told Miss Brewster that you're gonna have that weight on you. You will have that weight on you. It'll start messing with your mentals. It'll start consuming you to the point that you cannot focus on the things that you're supposed to be focusing on, the things that God put you here for, what He blessed you to do. You will forsake all of that and miss your blessings. Following behind this married couple and trying to figure out where you could fit in, if that makes any sense. Right? That's not where your blessing lies. And then I can start to wear on you. Now I'm going to bring it from me, or just my personal testimony, over to Claressa. Do you see how on one of my last videos I highlighted some like a brief, maybe 20-second, 10-second footage of her rapping 2 to 3 years ago when she was messing with Tony and how great she looked. You see the light in her eye. Her hairstyle was nice and on point. Like her face was chiseled. Her jawline was perfect. Her body was nice. And I even said the outfits, Claressa be picking her own outfits, but that was Claressa. That was from the head to the toe. That was her style. That was her energy and everything about it. I liked it. I put the picture up and I said, I don't want you to look at the makeup. I
I
don't want
was
you.
just sitting here.
I said, I don't want you to look at the makeup. I don't want you to look at none of that stuff. I wanted you to actually wait. I'm just going to go back up at 10 seconds. I said, I don't want you to look at the makeup. I wanted you to look at her eyes in that photo. All right, because I know that look, right? That look when she was in that joint, she was feeling herself. She was becoming into herself. The light was shining, as it should. And you see her these days, it's almost like they swap for real. Like Destiny swapping is real. Like whereas, like Remy Ma, and I'm not saying anything like Remy Ma should, but I'm just saying for her age, she should be looking like how Claressa looks. Am I making any sense? Like she looks like she's 31 and Claressa looks like she's 48. And I'm not saying nothing to my 48-year-olds. I'm not putting that on us, guys, because we looking good out here in these streets. Okay? So I'm not going to say that about us, but you know what I'm saying? Like you look more closer to 50 these days. In a matter of 2 to 3 years, that look has changed. That's the stress that Phoenicia Brewster is referring to. That weight on you from dealing with someone else's man, someone else's husband. And I'm telling you, this ain't nothing new. You ain't the first person in time to have done it, right? But that's why I think it's triggering to a lot of people because a lot of people are like, "Girl, the dude is always using you." Not you particularly, like in that situation, the only one that's going to benefit always will be the married man. Because guess what? He has his comfortable boundary of his wife to be like, hey, when you want to start demanding things from him, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm married. I can't do that. But they'll demand things from you. They'll demand things from you to the high heavens every day, all day. Demand your whole life. Demand your attention. Demand you to know where you're at. Demand you to come back. But you can't do as soon as you demand something from them is whoa, whoa, whoa. We can't do that. I gotta have this divorce first. I gotta stay married because of my kid. There's always gonna be a boundary when it comes to you, Clarissa. But when it comes to him, as far as you go with him, is never going to be a boundary. There's nothing that you shouldn't be. There's nothing off limits. It's everything should be whatever he wants you to do. You should be able to do it. And I hope that you see that. Okay. And I hope that you start putting those limits on him that he puts on you, because that's a convenience of a married man. I'm telling you, or a married woman. Now, I'm not going to just put it on the men like women, married wives don't cheat or whatever like that. But that is the convenience of them cheating. That's one of the perks of cheating. I could play all day, but then guess what? As soon as you start demanding a more serious level or trying to take it to the next level, whoa, whoa, whoa. We was just playing. I got a whole family at home and I'm not leaving them. Dude, you be here Monday through Friday. When do you see the family? It doesn't matter. I'm not leaving them. You see what I'm saying? So, yes, that's the weight that Phoenicia, Miss Brewster, was talking about. And kudos to the old lady that told her that, because she didn't lie. Because, like I said, infidelity, married adultery, sleeping with people's husbands and wives. This is the Bible. Don't covet thy neighbor's husband and wife, right? So that means that this type of behavior been around since the dawn of time, is nothing new. But let's continue. Let's see what the other content creators have to
Go
say.
to his wife, and if he die tomorrow, you don't get nothing but a memory. I'm
Facts.
just saying, sis. I was just sitting here.
Wow, nobody want to hear about that. We want to hear
Now,
about
this right here is, I'm going to say ish, but you know the real what I'm trying to say. So the name of the podcast is Ish Not Sweet Podcast. So shout out to you. Give you an kisses, mamas. So she's responding to the quotes from X. I always say Twitter tweets, but X tweets, where it says, they don't like confident, dark-skinned black women. There, I said it. And that theory, this is what I want to do to that theory. Blow it out the water. Because look at us. Look at us. I say this all the time. Look at me. Do I gotta come back? I know I have a little bit of light on me. Let me turn the light down a little bit, because you might think I'm a little darker than I am. Or a little lighter because the light is on me. Let me give you a little chocolateness there. Like, this is the real me here. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a colorist. My grandmother, my same granny that I talk about, you could drop my granny in Dominican Republic, on Honduras, Brazil, Cuba, anywhere, and she'll fit in because she's biracial. She's Jamaican, but she's Portuguese and African. But like a black woman and a Portuguese man got together in Jamaica and made my granny. Am I making any sense? So she's biracial. She then got with a chocolate man who had my granny. My great granny had my granny. My granny looked Asian. My granny got with another chocolate man, had my mom. My mom is chocolate. Beautiful. Skin, complexion, chocolate. She got with a yellow man, because yellow, like that chocolate, had us. Had me and my siblings. And we're like a nice caramelly. So the whole thing about it is, you can't say that. If you look at everyone's family, you're gonna have every color in it, virtually. I don't know. That's that old school racism, and I know it's still there to some degree, but who's really pushing, oh, you're dark skinned, so that's why we don't like you right now? And I'm not trying to sound colorist, but a lot of the like beautiful models that they be pushing are chocolate, black girls. And not even saying like super dark, but I'm talking about Clarissa's complexion, my complexion. You know what I'm saying? If you go on, like, I see it a lot on Instagram, a lot on Facebook. A lot of those interracial couples that are content creators and posting is 9 times out of 10 a chocolate girl with a white boy, or a chocolate girl with an Asian boy. Are you seeing those content creators these days? They're seeking us out. The nappier, the better. They're seeking us out. Indian, African, Chinese, Cuban, Dominican, France. Is just you when you put that limitation on yourself, then guess what? Then yeah, it's your complexion. Then yeah, like I heard it was a saying. My it wasn't necessarily like my granny was, she had like a variation of it, but it would be like basically wherever you are, wherever you go, there you are, meaning that you bring yourself with you, right? So any limitations you have, those are coming with you, right? Any dreams of grandeur that you have, any, unbelievable goals that you want to ascertain, those are going to come with you and show up wherever you are too. So wherever you go, there you are, right? So you're going to bring your true personality will come out. So that's Claressa don't like dark skin. And my thing is this, like her mom and her sister is darker than her. So who I feel like it's them that she's talking to. Shalita's darker than her, you know? And then look who she aligns herself with, right? Beatty, light skin. Nene, the long chin girl, light skin. Crystal, light skin. All of them biracial. Like, talk about pressure. I kind of like, no cap, I love, like, because I have cousins that look like all of everything. I literally have some cousins that if they roll up, you'll be like, who are these Chinese people? Until they start talking and you hear they got Jamaican accents. Born and raised in Jamaica, right? So I guess me personally, I don't care because I'm around everything, if that makes any sense. But how intimidating can that possibly be? Like, everything is dark skin, dark skin, dark skin. You don't like me because I'm dark skin. But you surround yourself with all these light skinned biracial women. And then when you talk about someone like Geisha Dean, you're like the black girl, Geisha Dean. Or when you talk about Tasha K, the black bald headed girl, Tasha K. I think Tasha K might have more hair than you. I'm not even being funny. And especially the latest days of the braids that we're seeing, I'm going with Tasha K. And I think Tasha K is beautiful, and I think Geisha Dean is beautiful. So it's like you think they're ugly because they're dark skinned. So that lets me know that that rhetoric is something that's within you, because wherever you go, there you are, Claressa. And that tweet right there, I can't even let my girl get into it yet. Ish not sweet. I got you. I got you. We're gonna play her in a minute, but I just gotta get this out. Claressa, wherever you go, there you are. So that dark skin comment is how you feel about maybe who you see in the mirror, and also about your family around you. That's why you want to be around Nene and her, Spanish family, and then you want to be around Beatty and Crystal, like all these non-black looking girls. But then you're the darkest one over there. Are they telling you it's because you're dark skinned? It got to be them, because I don't know who else will be telling you that. But anyway, let's get into what Mama has to say.
Won't you change your style up? You got the money, so what else can you do? But see, the thing about it is, you with a man and you're going to lose everything because your mindset is more focused on that man and defending yourself. See, you got a lot more than other people have. You have accomplished so much, but you're not going to be anything if you keep on letting these people take you out your comfort zone. Your comfort zone supposed to be focused on that fucking ring. Your comfort zone supposed to be with the man you love, but he ain't even fucking protecting you. Because he's supposed to sit down and have a one-on-one with you and say ignore them. Because here's the thing about it. See, what you got to understand is that when you up here and people down there, they're going to make a mockery of you. They're going to find things to attack you and talk about you with. And you are not as tough as you say you are, baby. You are not the people champ. You are what you want to call a fighter that's a coward. And I'm so sorry to tell you that. Because to see you got the money. Let your money speak for you. When you get in your ring, that's how you release your fucking pain. But to you too busy trying to release your fucking pain on everybody. Girl, pick a fucking battle, pick a fucking struggle. Leave us on the internet the fucking alone. Goodbye. Did I say too much? I'm out of there. Girl, I don't give a fuck because that girl working on my nerves. Goodbye.
So we're gonna give Baba's round of applause because she was clear and concise. Okay, them shots were clear and concise. But no, I agree with what she said. Everything she said, completely agree with it. Yeah, and I'm gonna just go back because it kind of went fast there really quickly. We're gonna go back a little bit here so we can hear one. We're gonna double back and spin the block on Mama.
And people down there, they're gonna make a mockery of you. They're gonna find things to attack you and talk about you with. And you are not as tough as you say you are, baby. You are not the people champ. You are what you want to call a fighter that's a coward. And I'm so sorry to tell you that. Because to see you got the money. Let your money speak for you. When you get in your ring, that's how you release your fucking pain. But to you too busy trying to release your fucking pain on everybody. Girl, pick a fucking battle, pick a fucking struggle. Leave us on the internet the fuck alone. Goodbye. Did I say too much? I'm out of there, girl. I don't give a fuck because that girl working on my nerves. Goodbye.
The person that you're
Well, yeah, pick a battle, pick a struggle. First of all, I think the biggest battle that you need to fight is that contract with Win Records. What's going on there with Salida Promotions? What's going on there? Because I don't even think they care about you as a fighter or anything else for that matter. And I also feel like I don't like it ain't even that I feel. I'm telling you, Papoose, I'm just gonna say like this. Papoose banned me after I, pulled the receipts for the Louis Vuitton shopping spree that she went on in December. And I pulled accurate receipts because that's what I do. And I predicted those outfits. I even predicted how he would wear the outfits. And I came in pretty darn close. Even down to that last black effect, thing that they went to and he had on the last shirt. And I said, "Oh yeah, that's the one that's like a it's called Yankee Stripes or something." The description itself with the Louis Vuitton and with the watermark, Yankee stripe, Yankee blue watermark. It's something in the description. So I was like, yeah, it looks like it does remind me of the stripes of the Yankee baseball uniform. So yeah, New York Yankee fitted, boom, boom, boom. He didn't even match it correctly. He had on like a greenish color. Like you're supposed to wear that blue, like the Yankee blue, the jeans, the hat. But anyway, he at least listened enough to put on a New York fitted with it. But and that was months later. So back in January, I pulled the receipts and I was like, yo, this to me right here. And then he did like the photo shoot, which we come to find out later on that was actually the video shoot for his diss record to 50 Cent, where he was sitting on the mailbox and all that stuff. And I was like, yo, and I put the receipt up and highlighted everything that he wore, everything so far. And I was like, this is crazy because there's no way with me, close to the 50 years old, messing with someone. First of all, my nieces and my nephews are Clarissa's age. That's why I'm like, I'm the YouTube auntie, right? And they called me and they hit me up, okay? And I would be remiss if I would want someone taking advantage of my kids. Am I making any sense? So that's why I think this is it's a couple of reasons. I'm kind of going through them with you in this episode. Why I feel kind of like in the trenches with this Clarissa situation. Because on one hand of it is like, yo, you did a lot of women that could have been legitimate sister circle for you dirty at the behest of a dude. Well, in this situation currently because of a dude. Other situations, I'm thinking it was just jealousy and the insecurities that you felt, right? That kind of led you to be or move the way you did towards people. But it's kind of like it's sad. I don't even know what else to say. It's sad to see that how you doing so much to be like seen and it's wearing you down. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, because I'm kind of losing a little bit off there, right? Because it's even just thinking about it sometimes. I'd be like, yo, it is sad. But then, when you have empathy for someone and then they'll follow up in your comments and be like, F you, granny, you're broke. And I'm like, you don't know anything about me, but I'm broke. Okay. you know? And then it's like, you this, you that, you're jealous of what? Like, tell me specifically what I'm jealous of. And then I might agree. I don't know, you know? But it's like, sometimes don't shoot the message or heed the message. And sometimes, like, especially when I was Clarissa's age, I would be like, I wish I had someone my age that been through stuff I've been through to school me, because, you know, Caribbean parents are just that, Caribbean parents. And then after a while, you're just gonna have to figure out the world on your own, if that makes any sense, right? So, yeah, I wish I had that. My granny was always there for me, and she is almost as if she knew she couldn't be there for me for a long time. So she did what she did to pack it in for me, right? And whatever she packed into me, as I became an adult, as I lived through life, as I, lived through experiences, I would hear her literally come back and be like, boom. And I'd be like, wow, that's what she was talking about. It's almost like I can always find a movie for something, but it's like that movie Signs when the wife died and everyone kept on dreaming, like the husband kept on dreaming about the last time he saw his wife. And she said something to him. And for years it haunted him. Like, I don't know what she means by that, but she was like, swing high, swing high, swing high. And that was the last thing she said to him. And he used to be like, no, she said, tell your brother to swing high. And the brother was like a retired baseball player and, went through depression with it. So they didn't want to talk to him about baseball. And then the dad was a preacher that lost his religion. He lost his faith in God because of the way his wife died a tragic death. Long story short, at the end of the movie, they were in a whole alien invasion situation, and he got flashes of his wife saying swing, tell your brother to swing high. And they realized in that moment what the dream meant, and he threw up the thing, and the brother swung it with the baseball bat, and they ended up killing the alien, right? So foreshadowing, that's kind of like how my granny works for me, if it makes any sense. It's like she packed in a lot of stuff for me early out, which I didn't know what the hell, and it didn't make sense. And as I went through life and as I continue to go through life, it makes sense for me. Right. So I'm not going to say I did not have that. I did. I just had to decipher it. And like I said, you got to learn things and go through things, right? Sometimes we got people that can help us through it and make life easier. But for the most part, we kind of got to learn it on our own. A lot of us do. And I think because of that in me, I be trying to throw a little wording or two out there for Claressa. But at this point in the game, y'all hit me in the marker. Do you think she's too far gone? Do you think she's too far gone? Like, do you think that anytime soon she'll be able to sit down and be like, yo, I was wilding. I was doing too much. Have any of y'all done that? Like, went off the ledge maybe, and then you come back and be like, yo, I was wilding. I know I have, you know? So much to the point that I'd be like, yo, erased. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to ever see you ever again. Does this make any sense? So, anyway, let's get back into it. Now we're going into Carla Tukes. So, shout out to Carla Tukes. She gives a little bit of word in, or she actually gave her commentary about the band, and then people were chewing her up on Facebook in her original post. So she came back with this response to say, hey, I'm trying to give you a different perspective of my original post. Like, look at it from this point of view. And I thought she did a great job, so I wanted to share it with you all. So let's look at her perspective. It says, if the person that you're with sees you in a situation and don't say, come on, and he said, for example, papoose. So let's get into it.
With, don't say, come on, let's go. It's not worth it. Something is wrong. If you're out on a date and for some reason, I know we don't act up in public, right? But if for some reason you're arguing with another woman or, whoever you would argue with someone else, and before it get out of hand, the person you're with don't say, come on, we ain't finna do this. It's not worth it, especially if you're in a settings where you yourself could get in trouble. Because some of y'all seem not to understand my video. And I know Claressa Shields could handle herself, right? And I know she's a grown behind woman. But if the person that you're with, that you're dating, right, that's supposed to care about you, your career, and your brand, and something is going down, don't say to you, come on. And I'm assuming she loved her papoose so much, she would have turned around and walked away. Hopefully, who knows? But if you're with someone in a settings like that and you're going to get in trouble, like getting banned, and they don't say, come on, that's my point.
And I'm going to tell you like this. I agree with her, and let me give her a round of applause. Carla
I
Tukes.
seen that.
Let me go back a bit, because this is my girl right here. I love Akia. Give her an E-kiss. Let's go back a bit here. I want to just say give Miss Carla right here a round of applause, and I want to say I completely agree with that, because imagine, right, and it goes both ways. If you love your partner and your partner love you, when you guys go out, it's almost like a back to back situation. Like, I got the left, you got the right, I got the front, you got the back. Like, we're in this together. And I'm not saying everywhere you go you got to be keeping like you're going to war, but that's your partner, that's your companion, your loved one. You want to make sure they're safe, they want to make sure you're safe, you want to get there safe and get home safe, right, without incident preferably. So you're going to keep your head on a swivel, and you're going to make sure, like, say for example, I've just seen it on the news where a girl was getting into a situation with a guy she was dating, and she called her brothers. You know that scenario is very common. And she called her two brothers out there. The two brothers played football. They are like, healthy, in shape, strong guys. Hearing that their sister's being disrespected. So they came out there. Now, the dude, and these are like young kids, right? But the dude, knowing that the sister has two twin football playing brothers, was like, don't come over here with that mess. They came over there with the mess, and both brothers are now deceased, right? So rest in peace to them. But at the same time, it's like when you love people and you care about people, you think about their safety too, right? Like, suppose it would escalate it, and then the people may say, hey, Clarissa is a boxer, so we're not gonna rough her up, but we'll rough Papoose up because I'm pretty sure you ain't control your bitch. You know what I'm saying? I seen it where a dude was talking smack to a dude, right? And her boyfriend is like not really controlling her, or not really, like pulling her away or de-escalating the situation. And she kept on stepping to the other guy like, yo, whatever, whatever. And the other guy was like, yo, if you don't get your girl, I'm knocking you out. And he was like, yo, I'm trying. Like, the guy was even down with the guy. Like, I'm trying to get her and pull her away. And I don't know if she hit him or she did something. Like, she reached around the guy and hit the dude. Reached around her boyfriend and hit the dude. Like, her boyfriend's trying to, like, pull her away. Not really trying to make a valiant effort. Just like, all right, come on, come on. Just kind of like how Papoose did. I mean, he tried to pull her away, but not really, because she smacked her and still was talking her stuff. And he just, like, holding her. So the dude was like, oh, so I told you that if she touched me, I'm hitting you because I don't hit women. He knocked her boyfriend straight out. And his head hit the concrete and, yeah, carted off in an ambulance. You see what I'm saying? So if you care about your significant other, your loved one, or just people in general that you've came together, you want to make sure you all leave together safely in one piece, you'll think about those things, right? So I think both of them don't help each other out in that manner. Like, Papoose don't be thinking about Clarissa. Clarissa don't be thinking about Papoose, right? And none of them think about the children, in my opinion. And when you say what children, Papoose children. Papoose has a child under 18 years old that still needs to fucking see her dad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all doing dumb stuff like y'all the kids. Like, this is crazy. But I completely agree with that. He's not for you if he's letting you be out there wilding. But to me, I also feel like he lets her wild because that's what he's telling her to do. She's doing what he's telling her to do. Remember that episode where, because these episodes for me at this point, where she was, just came back from the reggae concert and she's in the hotel and she's exercising the following day on Mother's Day. And she said, Papoose, I need some money. And he said, excuse me? And she said, I need some money. And he was like, well, that's what you're exercising for. That's why you got to keep good and keep your body right and do the modeling because you're going to get money from modeling. And she said, oh, yep, that's right. That's right. Thank you for the advice, Big Daddy. And you could see, like, that ate her up. That wasn't the answer she was looking for, especially not the answer she was looking for on camera. So if he did all of that, do you think that he's going to turn around and really make a valiant effort to protect you? He was super excited to be at the Netflix event. He was tagging Netflix, tagging MVP. He ain't tagged not a Win Records. He didn't even care about Win Records that night. It was all about MVP, and it showed. And he was in the trenches with MVP, and it showed. I mean, yeah, MVP and Netflix. So in my weird way, what I'm pulling from the ether is he was hoping that it was going to create a buzz to have them want to set up a fight with somebody from MVP with Clarissa. And maybe Alicia, because we know she was trying to fight Shadeja, but Shadeja's out because of her injuries, right? And until further notice, until she gets cleared, right? She's out. So the next, and I don't even know how that would work. Like, you'd have to lose everything. You'd have to not eat nothing to go down there and try and fight Alicia Bumgarner. But maybe in some weird way he was encouraging the behavior because he's thinking like this is going to bring eyes on Clarissa, and maybe we can get a fight out of MVP. That's what I think Papoose was looking at or hoping it would be, and it didn't work out like that. So he's been quiet ever since. Y'all guys hit me in the marker. Have y'all seen Papoose post Clarissa, or had he posted anything about anything? Memorial Day with Clarissa? Is he barbecuing with the golden child? What is he doing? Is he out there with Khadijah and baby Winnie? Like, where is he at? Where's he at? Because it seemed like he's been zero dark 30 ever since everything has hit the fan and this ban has hit the fan. But anyway, let's get into it with
One in a
Akia.
settings like that, and you're going to get in trouble, like getting banned, and they don't say, "Come on." That's my point.
I seen
Exactly.
that them pictures and the videos of Claressa Shields when she was at the airport by herself. She was alone. And is.
Hmm.
That's not surprising. But what is surprising is how she got two black eyes. Bitch, who you been fighting? Huh? Who you was in that fight? You Sparrow? Spar beat your ass. No. Let's go back. Let's go back a timeline when Remy Ma said, and I quote, "If y'all found out what I was going through in my relationship, y'all would literally cry. It would make you cry." Now let's also fast forward to when Tasha K had to apologize to Remy Ma for allegedly Papoose being abusive towards her. This was
Do y'all remember that? Now, and I'm gonna say allegedly. I wish I should have worn my allegedly shirt for this one, but I remember allegedly, and I'm paraphrasing. This is not verbatim, but there was a house being renovated. Y'all go ahead and hit me at the mark if y'all remember or know where I'm going with this. But there was a house being renovated, and there were some workers at the house. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because of the taxes or the foreclosure or financial issues. But Remy came over there to talk to Papoose about something, and they got into it in the garage of the home while the workers was there. Now this is all alleged because I don't know if you guys keep me honest. If y'all heard this story, because this is what I heard from them internet streets. And he started physically touching her. And the crew ultimately ended the work for the day and other things had to take place. I don't know if it was police or whatever, but other things had to take place and the work crew was done for the day after what took place between Remy and Papoose. Tell me if y'all remember that story. Vaguely paraphrasing it, that's not verbatim, and I'm gonna say allegedly before and after that story, okay? Because I'm not saying that I have any facts on that. That's what I heard from these internet streets. Tell me if y'all heard that. Tell me if y'all heard that. Among others, just like Akia said. But let's continue. Let me go back because, I don't want to miss Akia's words.
it would make you cry. Now let's also fast forward to when Tasha K had to apologize to Remy Ma for allegedly Papoose being abusive towards her. This was a while ago as well. Now let's also fast forward to the videos where Claressa, you have done interviews and you have quote unquote said that the baby's gonna have a hand problem like his dad for sure.
Oh, he gonna do both.
Little dude gonna have a hand problem for sure, like his daddy.
So, who you over there fighting? I know you and your little girlfriend better not be over there fighting. That's all I know. You better not be over there fighting with your little girl. Keep your hands to yourself, Claressa. Now, this all alleged. And is. I'm just asking questions. I just want to know who you over there fighting.
So I had to catch a zoom in on the picture because I reacted to this live. And when I reacted to the live, a lot of you poured it to my attention and said that the eyes look like they might have been a little bit of black, right? Now, I will say that, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You know this, guys. I am the YouTube auntie. I say it. But I've seen bags under her eyes before, right? From lack of sleep, just lack of self-care. Remember the infamous Breakfast Club interview around the holidays where she had on the fur hat and Papoose, she was like, what do I look like being second? And Papoose was like, she's second, bars on wheels. Remember? So that was the first time that I really realized how aged Claressa has started to look since this whole situation and putting out fires daily, on behalf of, showing her love for Papoose. And Papoose ain't putting out a fire. He don't care if the whole internet burned down. He don't care. But since she's been up here trying to put out these fires and, keep her name clean and keep her image clean, she's been looking stressed and wearing that stress in her face. So at first I was like, well, she has bags under her eyes, guys, right? So it could be shadows, it could be the bags, right? But then someone sent me this picture and I said, okay. And I'm looking over here. Right now, she normally has bags under her eyes, so I don't know if this is, a filtered shot and this is what we're getting. I don't know. but I'm not gonna rule it out either. You know what I'm saying? Just because the way it looks right here. And then something else to couple with this has my spidey senses tingling, and that's going to be the next thing. But I want you to remember this, okay? Because this is what Akia was talking about, like when she was in the airport, and I said, she looks a little different. She looks a little, I don't know, sad. What's going on? And I was like, do you think the band, and I was more so because the band was fresh. We just found out about the band from MVP. So I asked you all, I said, do you think the band is bothering her? Like she's bothered by the band. And a lot of us was like, yes, I think she is bothered by the band. And then some of you were like, I don't know what's going on, but she does look sad. And then some people was like, so we're just gonna ignore the black eyes. And I kept on getting a lot of those messages, and I'm like, well, I guess I kind of am so used to either A, filter, or B, she's having bags under her eyes. So I didn't know if it was a combination of a bad filter trying to smooth out the bags, and that's what we get. I don't know. But so I was kind of like how I am now. Right? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. Right? But then something else dawned on me, and I was like, well, in light of this, maybe.
Girl, you put your
So before we let Bambino talks, because that's his name, Bambino talks, but before we let Bambino have his way with Claressa, if you will, this is what made me say my spidey senses are tingling. Her live, right? So a lot of people was like, does she have a black eye? Does she have a black eye? Does she have a black eye? If you look at this video, and you can go back to my video of it, my last episode, because I basically got the whole live up there of her talking. If you look at the video, her cheeks and under her eyes are heavily made up. Look at it. Even so much so that there was no filters used in this video that I'm thinking of, because you can still see the texture of her skin, right? In this. So that lets me know, like, maybe not here per se, but in the actual video. So it made me feel like she didn't use a filter, but she had a lot of makeup on. And I said, why so much makeup? And if you look at it, it's like her forehead, and I get it, the blush on the cheek or whatever, but that was a lot. Look at this. So this is after she was in the airport. You see, she still got the same blue wrestling braids in her hair. This is after she landed in LA or wherever she was going. So she's there now. And they put a pound of makeup on her face. And you thinking that she's going to do a photo shoot or something. She put that makeup on to do this live to basically defame Alicia Baumgartner, the infamous live on Friday. She had on a lot of makeup under here. Under here. Right where it was pointed out, looked bruised. I hope I'm reaching. I'm gonna just say like that. I want to be reaching for this one. Am I making any sense? So y'all don't even have to tell me I'm reaching. I want to be reaching, but that has my spidey senses tingling because I was like, and we go back and look really quickly. Look, right? And I was like, it could be a shadow. It could be, the bags. I don't know, right? And then the next video that she does, she has extreme amount of makeup on to the point that it's covering, it's
girl, you
underneath her eye. Look, under the eye, heavily beat under both eyes with the makeup. No pun intended. Heavily beaded with makeup under both eyes. What do y'all think? Like I said, I want to be reaching on that, and I hope that that's not the case. But what 50-year-old man really gonna have dealings with a 30-year-old girl? And one as, immature as Claressa. I don't know. Like, I don't even know where to go with that one. I really don't know where to go because what my spidey senses is telling me right now, it's going off the Richter charts. And I don't even want to share that with you all because I want to be wrong. I'll just leave it like that. Let's continue. So let's hear what Bambino Talks is saying. He says, Claressa Shields says she plans to sue Alicia Baumgartner and MVP Promotion. So he's reacting to the
put
shade
your
room.
hands on her. I don't give a fuck what she told you. You took your hand and you put them on her. She's suing your ass, girl. You talking about you gonna handle it in court and all that? You're gonna waste your money. It's on video of you putting your motherfucking hands on her. I don't give a fuck how you try to chop the video up. All she said was words. You took your hands and placed them on her. Yeah, you fucked up. You fucked up. Papoose know you fucked up. Everybody know you fucked up. And for the people in the back that be defending her in the Papoose situation, I'm gonna let y'all bitches in on the secret. When a woman is done with a man because he don't pay no bills, ain't got no money on nothing, can't chip in on nothing, that kind of shit. Usually when he move on from that woman or she throw his ass out and tell him she don't want to be with him no more and then he ain't got nowhere else to go, he gonna go and find a dummy.
Okay.
A big dummy.
2-time gold medalist. Okay.
Who gonna pay his motherfucking bills? So I don't want to hear no real relationship. He could really like her. He don't really like nothing about her. He knew his time was up over there at Remy's house like most niggas do. And then he go with his next best move. And stop saying this girl is from Detroit. She is from Flint. Flint and Detroit is two different motherfucking things. She's not from here. You put your hands on that girl. And you got to come up off that money. You might want to get your ass off this internet talking, Miss Claressa. Because you're giving her evidence for her case. Only person that's going to lose money is you.
This news isn't surprising.
So this is Combat Sports Podcast, I believe. So shout out to you and E-Kisses if I jack that up. But yeah, just to kind of leave off of what Bambino talks. If you notice, he's kind of slowly but surely becoming another one of my favorites that I like to put in the weekly review because he always gives some insightful stuff and his moral compass is definitely calibrated. So shout out to him. You know. Now we're leaning into now more so of the sports, the actual boxing podcasters, and I really wanted to hear what some of them are saying. Right now, this guy, he's more so on TikTok, but he is, I think it's called Combat Sports Reactions Podcast, something. E-Kisses to you. I'm sorry, I didn't get the notes on this one here, but insightful nonetheless. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Surprising, nor am I mad at it, and this just makes MVP stock rise even more in my opinion. The whole night was on the stable of MVP fighters, Alicia being one of the main boxers on the roster, and it was a night of appreciation. You've seen Alicia get love from like Rampage Jackson, John Jones, a lot of UFC legends, Anderson Silva, and also boxing legends. But then Claressa, she has to put a stamp on it and make the night about her. Everybody knew the cameras was rolling. Everybody knew it was for a show. Everybody knew she wanted the attention. And as a fighter, I'm a fan of Claressa. I have no problem with her, but I believe that the Hollywood stuff just is unnecessary at this point. Whenever she's the loudest is whenever she's the heavyweight picking on a lightweight, whenever she's calling out the hands of retired 48-year-old Layla Ali. I miss the humble Flint, Michigan-grown Claressa Shields who was hungry and all about boxing. This lifestyle that she's living right here ain't it, and it's really unnecessary, to be honest. You're already highly paid, highly skilled, a legend in the sport and one of the best ever. I'd love to see her continue to chase greatness in the ring. Oh, and by the way, that wasn't a slap to the face. I feel like she slapped her arm because her face was too far away in the video. Drop down in the comments who you think Claressa Shields should fight next.
Iman from Algeria. She's a gold medalist. You know, she won. She's from Algeria. She's strong. They say she looks like a man. They say Claressa looks like a man. So I think that would be a great fight. I digress. I don't think any of them look like men. But, you know, that'd be a good fight if you ask me who she should fight next. But what I wanted to say about that, and I wanted to go back a bit, is she always tried to force feed it. I don't really want to go back because I don't want to, I got a few more things to go through here. But she tries to force feed us, her and Papoose. And every picture I see of them, from the cringy ones where he just doesn't seem like he's into it, to the ones where they just don't even Like chemistry. You ever see someone and you be like, oh yeah, they're a nice looking couple. Or sometimes you ever see someone and they may not even know that they're supposed to be a couple yet. And you're like, girl, just marry him, right? The chemistry is there. Excuse me. You know what I'm talking about? You ever seen that? Like, there's a English couple on TikTok. They're not a couple, at least in my mind, because I'm a hopeless romantic. I hope that they become a couple. But it's a beautiful chocolate girl, and when I say chocolate, she's chocolate, dark chocolate, beautiful girl from England, and she always does her outfits of the day. She could be a model, right? And she's like in on the street in front of her flat. And she's like outfit of the day, and she always does her stuff. And the neighbors is like, "Oh, you look lovely," and and she goes by her day. So this particular day, she's out there, well, particular night, because it was nighttime, and she was like, outfit of the day. And then she steps back into the frame to start showing you her outfit of the day. And then this good looking, like, white guy walks by and she said, oh, excuse me, because he didn't realize she was filming because he's just walking through. And he's, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were filming. And then she was like, oh, no, I'm just doing my outfit, my OOTD. Did you want to do it with me? And he was like, OOTD? Like, I don't know what that is. But you could see their interaction. I felt like we caught magic on camera. They got like over 2 million views on this interaction. Nothing sexual, nothing, just organic, right? So he goes, "Oh, what's an OOTD? I don't know what that is." And she said, "Outfit of the day." And he was like, "Oh, well, you're stunning. Like, I can't be in your outfit of the day. Like, I can't." And she was like, "No, you look very nice. I think you look great. Get on camera and tell him what you're wearing." So he gets on camera, such a good looking guy, right? And what makes him even better looking is his attitude. He was like humble and not braggadocious, but you could tell everything he wore was haberdashery. Now, anyone that knows there's a difference between haberdashery and clothes. But anyway, so he definitely was well put together, right? And he's going through his outfit like, oh, my jacket's from such and such, my this is from such and such, my boots are from such and such. As they're going through it, another person walks past and is admiring them too, like they're a good looking couple. And then, he's like, oh, you look, like you're stunning. So he's complimenting her, she's complimenting him. And then they just kind of like are like shy, but you could tell they both want to interact. I don't know if I can explain it, but the chemistry. Let me just lead and end there. The chemistry in that video, and if anyone's seen that TikTok, I know what I'm talking about. The chemistry is organic. Okay, and some people be like, "Oh, well, whatever, whatever. You're pushing this, you're pushing that." I'm not. I push love, right? And she was a beautiful girl. He was a beautiful guy, and they had a beautiful interaction on in the streets of London, right? And it was caught on film. And if you go in the comments, you'll probably find me in the comments saying, I need a follow up on this. And when is the wedding? Like you probably will see me in there, right? And everyone in the comments, because everyone organically picked up on the energy, the chemistry between them. It was undeniable watching that film. And the reason why I use that example is because every time I see a picture of Clarissa and I see a picture of Papoose and I see them trying to force this love on us, it just doesn't look right. And the chemistry isn't there. Okay? And I think that wears on Clarissa too, the chemistry. Do you remember after her wrestling match, they went out to eat and Papoose was like showing his food and he picks up the camera on her. She just looking like, she was looking like either stressed or she was pissed because he didn't answer her question. You ever have those type of situations like, yo, so you're just not gonna answer me? You looking crazy, right? And then he must have told her, like, all right, fix your face. And he caught her again and she was like smiling. I don't want to be with no one like that. And I gotta be feeling like, is it, not? Am I? Do you? I can't do it. Leave me alone. How about I make it easy for us? I'm out. I'm out. But more people to go. We're almost done. So that was Combat Sports
Oh, and
Podcast.
by the
Let's
way,
see.
that wasn't a slap to the face. I feel like she slapped her arm because her face was too far away in the video.
We know now that it was a slap in the face. We got that confirmed from Le'Veon Bell, who was right there. Michael Irvin, who was right there, plus a couple other people are coming out and confirming that it was to the face. Plus, Claressa said it was to the face. Now, when Claressa said it, I didn't believe it. That's why I was like, I need to see this from a different angle, different angle, different angle. And, it could just be still adding fuel to the fire, but I will say this. Alicia never denied that she got smacked in the face. Like, she didn't say, that girl ain't smacked me in the face. There is a ban in place. And Michael Irvin and Le'Veon Bell said, "Yo, Alicia, even though she got smacked in the face, she took that. She wasn't even phased by it, and it didn't hurt her." So I think it's a unanimous consensus that it was in the face. Let's continue. This is now.
Drop down in the comments who you think Claressa Shields should fight next.
Now, this was sent to me by one of my talkers. So shout out to my talkers. Now, the person who posted it in real time over the weekend, but I'm on the fence, right? Because I was looking at it here. It says fire up change, black women in the conversation. Let me go back a little bit here because I want to see what it says. But it's like some type of event with Angela Yee, Claressa, and Ryan Destiny. Now, 2 years ago, her movie came out, The Fire Inside. It's also on Amazon now. So it still could have been old. This still could be old footage that someone just decided to post over the weekend.
Face was too far away in the video.
I didn't see Claressa
Drop down in the
promote
comments who you think Claressa Shields should fight next.
So let's stop right here. Because I was trying to look at the sign first, guys. Oh, Lord. Zoom in like this if you need to, please, guys. You know how it... Let me sit up. Let me sit up. Look at Ryan Destiny. First of all, the suede pumps are everything. The brown dress, total. I know where she's going with that. Diane Carroll, Dynasty. I know where she's going with that. I love it. I'm from an era, so I like opulence, So anyway, whew. So I know Ryan Destiny is the star of the movie, and I think she looks even smaller. That's why I'm like, when was this? The braids, I don't know. Like she hasn't gotten her braids done. I'm thinking this is old. Like her chain, they promote the Fire Inside. We haven't seen Ryan Destiny since then, right? As far as around Claressa. And then they're up here with Angela Yee. And it says, point of view, you're at a viewing party in New York City. A viewing party. So I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know when this was done, right? But I'm thinking it was done closer to at least when the movie became available on Amazon Prime. Right, so that's what it's leading me to believe. So they're meeting and greeting the audience. You see Ryan Destiny's leaning down, taking, people want to take pictures of her, so she's like leaning down, posing. And Claressa, what is that she's wearing? I try to ignore it. What is she wearing? It literally looks like one of those bodysuits that snap underneath the crotch. And I'm pretty sure it's not just because it's hanging over the jeans. Y'all keep me honest there. Y'all zoom in and tell me what is going on here. Let's give it a little action. This is what I wanted to see. So it says Amazon MGM Studios present Fire Up Change. Black women lead the way. In conversation with Ryan Destiny, Claressa Shields, The Fire Inside. Only on available only on Christmas Day. So yeah, this is not new. So this was definitely last year, and it might have been. So what is it? This 26, 25. Let me guess it. When did? You know me, I gotta ask a few questions. Well, it says Christmas Day, but I'm looking for like what year, if that makes any sense. Because then that'll give me an idea of when they actually did this. Ah, so yeah, okay. So this is definitely old. So it said something available only something on Christmas Day, right? So only, let me see if I can get around Angela. Let me see if I can get around her.
Far away in the video. Drop down in the comments who you think Claressa
So this was available. Well, let me go
Shields
back.
should fight next.
She love one of them niggas with cash
I'm trying to see.
in the Gucci.
Look at his face.
Taking trips around the world.
Oh, she came over close with that outfit. So this was January 2025, guys. This was January of 2025. I think the person, because especially in spite of in lieu of everything else that's going on, right? All the attention that's going on, like a lot of people, she's in the news, she's banned, so I'm pretty sure that the content creator was like, "Hey, I got some footage from when I went to their viewing party, so I'm going to go ahead and post that." So that makes sense. But also what makes sense is, or what don't make sense, is this outfit. What is going on up here? What's going on right here? Like, you know what? She could have actually just tucked that in. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to see it because it's made like that. You ever have like for example, you ever turn to I don't know, what am I looking for? Like, you turn a skirt into a halter top, right? You turn what I'm saying, like a skirt, like a long skirt into a strapless dress, right? And people are like, damn, how did you do that? Right? I've been creative in different ways with clothes, right? So I'm a firm believer in you don't have to wear everything the way it was made to be worn, right? Sometimes it can be made or cut in a way that you can add layers to it or do something else and it kind of give you that perfect look, right? Sometimes you have to do certain things to achieve a certain look, right? You can't just throw it on the way it was on a mannequin and think that'll work for you, type of thing. I hope I'm making sense, right? But I don't, and I'm saying that to say is I don't know if this is a bodysuit that she was just like, F it, I'm gonna wear it out, or if this shirt was like that. I'm thinking the shirt was like that, but it looks weird with these pants, so maybe tuck it in. I don't know. But she came over to dude. She came over to talk to dude, and you saw his face.
Shields should fight next.
And this is a year ago, January 2025, at the premiere, and maybe even December of 24, because it said something for Christmas Day. So this was probably 24, going into 25. Ryan Destiny down there. Somebody said she got that dress on. They say, yeah, that part. But look who comes over to them.
Who you think Claressa Shields should fight next?
So I'm gonna tell you like this. Right, all the people over here was taking right. You see, even right here, the phone. Somebody got their phone. Everybody was taking pictures of Ryan Destiny, right over here. So she tried to pose down for a little bit, and then she quickly realized that all eyes are on Ryan. So the guy turns the camera to himself, watches really quickly, and he makes a face like, look what she got on, and his eyes gesture over to her like, look at her. And then she comes over to him in the same time of him making that face, and I don't know if she caught it or not, but it looks like she was like, they're not interested in my picture on this side of the house either. But look.
Cash in the Gucci that part. Taking trips around the world, spending bills.
And you saw she was like, somebody said, can I take a picture? She's like, come on. So she came over there hoping that, hey, if you guys want pictures, and then somebody took a picture, and the guy took the camera right. He didn't want a picture. You seen that, right? But he did catch some more footage.
Cash in the Gucci that part. Taking trips around the world, spending bills. She love one of them niggas. Cash in the Gucci
honestly, I learned to work hard.
So this was the same event. And I don't know. I'm thinking maybe the whole trending of Claressa these days made them post this. But that's Angela Yee. That's Claressa. Ryan Destiny is not there, but the middle chair's for Ryan Destiny. But I want you to listen to this. I try to put up as much as I can and as clear as I can. But I want you to hear is a certain part in here she's going to talk about her fight that she had. I believe she had the fight against Savannah Marshall. And she's going to say something to the effect of she was robbed of the fight. But I want you to hear the crowd's reaction. And then it's interesting to know now that this was at least 2024 into 2025. But let's listen.
So that's the movie, but in real life, I really beat Savannah Marshall on the amateurs. They robbed me. It was not. She didn't beat me for real. But London
You
was
hear
hosting
them?
the Olympics. She's
You heard
from.
them? They were like, I'm like, you know how to say when somebody say something and the crowd didn't like it, they're like, let me let you hear it one more time. She's talking about the movie. And remember, I said, guys, I think a lot of things get embellished in movies for the silver screen to make it more sensationalized, make it more drama to sell the movie, right? But I didn't really believe a lot of the things in that movie, The Fire Inside. She just not confirmed that for me by saying this. Let's go back.
England, London,
Let's go
so
back.
really beat.
Cash in the Gucci fashion and shit.
Honestly, I learned to work hard. If you, so that's the movie, but in real life, I really beat Savannah Marshall and the amateurs. They robbed me. It was not. She didn't beat me for real. But
You know that? You hear
London
the
was
crowd?
hosting the Olympics. She's from England, London, so they gave her. I had to fight against her, the ref, the judges, and I lost.
And another thing before we get into Cam really quickly, we're gonna go back 10 seconds there. She said, unlike in the movie, which shows that Savannah Marshall beat her, she's saying she technically won against Savannah Marshall, but because she was in England, they weren't playing in her favor. So they said she had to not only fight Savannah, but she had to fight the judges, the referee, and all the other people involved. So that's why she lost. It's never just, hey, I didn't do my best, or hey, the girl was better than me this time around. It always has to be a couple of other conspiracies against Claressa. But the thing that's funny to me is you're saying that they won because the judges were in her favor. It was her home team. She was in England, all of that stuff, right? But then we say that about you. We say that you don't have any fight other than Little Caesar Arena with handpicked judges that you approve, with fighters that you approve to fight. Is it safe to say that some of these opponents could say that about you? Like, yo, she fights on the home team. She has her home judges. It's everything, the referee, everything is in her favor. So it's so crazy to hear you say that about Savannah Marshall and how you had to fight all of them and it wasn't a fair fight. But then you get butt hurt, offended if someone says an inkling of that about you. But you fail to realize we believe it. I believe my spidey senses, and I'm going to rely on them forever. However, I definitely believe my spidey senses because in addition to them tingling, you come back around and confirm them because you always have a way of projecting what you do to others onto others. Am I making any sense? So, like, say, you we saw the tweets or excuse me the text messages where Remy said, "Yo, get Clarissa PR team. Her PR team putting out all this bad stuff about me, blah blah blah." Layla Ali said, "Yeah, her PR team will put out bad stuff about you, simultaneously putting good stuff about her to make her look good." That's how they've been for years, right? We have two people who experienced that, who said they were victims of that from your team. You never addressed it and said, "No, that's not true. That's false allegation." Never. But instead, you say, "Oh, these people are paying PR teams and medias and paying these bloggers to do a smear campaign against me." Why would you even think that would be something possible? Like, because honestly, I wouldn't have thought of saying, "Oh yeah, that's possible," until I've seen the receipts. And not just the Remy and not just the Layla receipts, but other receipts from other people that have nothing to do with Claressa in this industry, if that makes any sense. So yes, but to keep it Claressa, to keep it here, you project. You project all the time what you actually do to people on people. So you'd be like, "Look, they're paying, bloggers to hate me." You go back 2 years ago, literally, Remy got the receipt saying, "Look, she's paying bloggers to hate me." Layla's like, "Look, she's doing a smear campaign against me." So it seems like everything that you say people are doing to you, you're really doing it to them. So really, honestly, what I say to you all out there, talkers, if you ever want to know what Clarissa is up to, just listen to her. Whatever she blames someone or accuses someone of doing to her, it's safe to say, basically, with the track record that we're looking at, it's safe to say that that's what she's doing to them. Does that make any sense? And I think that the live from Friday is a great example to use for that. Um, the reason why I say it's a great example is because she says she's going to sue MVP for defamation of character. She's going to sue Alicia Baumgartner for words that were typed out professional. probably by their PR team. She's gonna sue them for defamation of character. Whereas, like, we didn't see the whole video on everywhere, and you acting like a wild hyena, yelling and kicking over the table. We seen that from you. No one painted that picture for us. No one AI'd the picture for us. We seen it from you, and you owned up to it and was proud of it that you did it until it backfired. So yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting, but let's continue. So it's safe to say, guys, as going forward, if you want to know what she's done lately or what she's doing to her enemies, just listen to what she accuses her enemies of, and then you know what she has done to her enemies. Let's continue.
England, London. So they gave her. I had to fight against her, the ref, the judges, and I lost.
Claressa, what are we doing? Like, where's the team? You just can't go around using your hands any kind of way. I don't care what she said, sister. Now look at the ramifications of what you did, sister. That's bad for business. She can't go around talking like that. We're in the entertainment business, sister. You guys are trying to make as much money as you possibly can. So how does Ronda Rousey make that? And then we got a sister in Claressa that can't...
Y'all could have made that too.
You could have did it too, but now you done did something that's going to cost you. Don't let it jeopardize the business, sister. And then I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but if you are a licensed professional boxer, you can't just be loosely slapping somebody, even if it is another boxer.
Cause that's what I was wondering. I'm like, if it's a slap, is that illegal versus a bald fist? I don't know.
If your hand touch my face.
Shit, her hand touched that face.
Man, let her have touched me.
She said,
I'm
flop like.
falling out. You think doggone basketball players flop? Well, I would have been in the other casino.
Well, y'all would have been looking like, easy. Oh, my neck and my back.
My neck and my back.
So these are two grown men. Cam Newton plays football, and I've seen him recently in his dress shoes on the field with his scarf around his neck and his dress shoes, and he was running them football plays. He was running them. And I was like, this dude out here in the dress shoes. Okay? Big guy. And he says if Claressa hit him, he's going to fall out and end up in the next casino. And he's suing my neck and my back. You already know what that is. My neck and my back. My neck and my back. Yeah, I'm suing. No one's going to be playing those games with you. No one's going to fight you and be ghetto and roll it out into the street. And no. Not when you told the world you got $8 million. I'm trying to see something. You see what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Because everything else was quiet. And it's, this was Alicia Baumgartner's birthday weekend. So, happy birthday. Eat kisses. And send a round of applause to Alicia Baumgartner for the birthday blessings. And wish you many more. But so in regard to that, she's celebrating her birthday. But who knows? Who knows? The ban took place effective immediately, right? Who knows what else might be going forward? Like, what else might be going forward, right? So, when you see Cam Newton saying, oh, you hit me, I'm going to fall out. Because he knows that I can go ahead and take that to my lawyer. That's why in some instances you might be like, oh, I won, I smacked her, and she ate that. Yeah, I'm going to eat that because guess what? I'm going to be eating off of $8 million too. And if you don't have $8 million, you better find it. That's how that be working out. But let's continue. So,
my neck and my back.
And so this is the last one for the night. Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva came across my desk. Let's give him a round of applause and give him an e-kiss there. Now, he did a great just weekend review, if you will, of his own. But he had a segment in there about Claressa being banned, right? So I wanted to kind of cover that. Now, I did my own coverage on, the footage, the public statement that was put out by Alicia Baumgartner and MVP, covered what Claressa retaliated or responded with, all that stuff, right? So he kind of went through all of that. And that was good. He did a great job there. Some things I was like, no, because he kind of said that it was a face-off between Alicia Baumgartner and Claressa Shields at a weigh-in, and that wasn't the case. That was They were one was an invited guest at her job, and the other one was an uninvited guest that was allowed to come in based on his celebrity status, right? And I think that might be the best way to say it, because a lot of people like, she was invited, she was invited. She bought her own tickets, which she said several times over that she doesn't mind buying her own tickets for events that she wants to go to. However, she's Claressa Shields, right? I've been, I can say I'm guilty of it, where it's like, I know once I get there, the face card won't decline, and I'm not even trying to be funny. It's like, yo, I'm go ahead and pay for the ticket, but this is just the start of the night. After that, we out. We're gonna be backstage. We're gonna be, we're gonna go eat. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna hang out with the band because these are my homies, right? So I can understand that. Where it's like, yo, I'm here. I ain't nothing. I'm about to take and get there, and then I'm gonna go find Nikisa. And be like, yo, Nikisa, what's good? I'm trying to do some VIP. Where's the after party at? And he'll be like, oh yeah, it's over there. Yeah, you could go in. Because it's Claressa Shields, right? Like, oh, you came all the way out to California. Everyone knows she doesn't live in California. So out of the graciousness, and I tell you, boxing is a gentleman's sport. So they were like, all right. They didn't know she was going to show her ass like that. They didn't know she was going to show her ass like that. But anyway, last 3 minutes, I might have something else here, but I really feel like Funky Dineva might be my last. So we're going to give it to him. Let him have the floor, and let him tell us how he feels about Claressa.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I'm trying my hardest to like Claressa Shields. I'm trying my hardest to be on sis side. I'm trying my hardest to give her, all the things and all the accolades and all the and
we all are.
She just makes it so hard. She makes it so hard. And the unfortunate thing about it is that instead of taking some type of advice, tutelage, mentorship from Layla Ali, you are too busy beefing with her. Claressa's ego has gotten so big. And guys, oftentimes I find myself checking myself, right? I'm like, okay, do we come down on Claressa because she's a woman? Because this type of behavior, more times than not, we accept from men, right? Like, is it because she is a woman that we give her such a hard time? And then I said, nah, Q, that's not what it is. It's not that she's a woman. It's that she just be doing way too much. And in the midst of doing way too much, she stay getting in trouble. And I don't know. I just want Claressa to act the way that we used to seeing our female boxers act. I don't understand why she has to come into the game and completely upset the apple cart. Like, girl.
Because they're from, I call Claressa and her peoples the new people. They're from this new generation. And I know, technically speaking, Alicia Baumgartner is the same age as Claressa, like a year apart, not too much different. So the new generation, but she is boxing. She takes her craft serious, and she takes it, and you could tell, right? And I'm not gonna say she's the only one. Quite a few of them out there are serious about their craft and take it serious, and may even be younger than Claressa and Alicia, right? But with her, she wants to bring like ghetto ratchet to the sport, right? Like, you know how you had like the baddies fighting and, bad girls club and all that stuff, right? It's like she wants to bring that to boxing, the ratchetness. And I'm telling you, when when her image was like sweet girl, even her corny raps, when she was like jab to the liver, like all of that would be accepted when you were humble and like fit. Because guess what the fitness show symbolizes? That you want your job, that you take your job seriously, and your main point of objective is going to be fit, physically fit, ready to hop in the ring whenever, and keep yourself looking good at all times, right? That's the first thing. That lets me know that you're in the right direction. You showed us that every time you came out there with your little antics, you're rapping, you're whatever, but you had your cute little dresses on and everything looked nice. Everything was in place. Now you kind of look like a mother of three. And I no disrespect to my moms of three, like we go through things when we have kids, right? But I'm gonna say a mother of three about 49 years old. That's what you're looking like, and you know what I'm saying? It's like you're 31 years old, no children, and your career is boxing, you should be fit, and you should be making sure that your body and keeping it right and tight is on the forefront of everything because you're an athlete, right? Let's continue.
Bro, just do like everybody else been doing all these damn years. Collect your check and take your ass home. We don't like you trying to be a fashionista. We don't like you trying to be a celebrity. We don't like you trying to be a trophy girlfriend. We like you being a female fighter and nothing else. That's it. That's it. We don't want nothing else from you. We don't want you cooking. We don't care about your romance. We damn sure don't care about them tacky ass Flint, Michigan ass fashions that you need to throw in the damn garbage. We don't care about none of that. And unfortunately,
Wait a minute.
Claressa, what you need to
I caught that shot for you, Clarissa. Like, oh my god, I had to duck that shot. Let me go back. Because you could see Funky wanted to get that off his chest. Let me go back.
and nothing else. That's it. That's it. We don't want nothing else from you. We don't want you cooking. We don't care about your romance. We damn sure don't care about them tacky ass Flint, Michigan ass fashions that you need to throw in the damn garbage. We don't care about none of that. And unfortunately, Clarissa, what you need to understand is that if you continue to alienate audiences and push people away, there's not going to be much money left out there in the boxing world for you to get. Boxing is a spectator sport. Spectator, meaning fans and audiences, and you put such a nasty taste in people's mouth that you ain't gonna have any spectators left to spectate you fight, and that's just what it is, Claressa Shields. So please, Clarissa, rein it in, get it together. You've got the talent, you've got the gusto, but you've got the personality of a drunk homeless bitch on Skid Row, and that's what keep effing you up in the midst of all of this. Not to mention, you dress like a drunk homeless bitch in the middle of Skid Row.
And I ain't gonna lie. I think that might be, excuse me guys, let me clear. I think that might be the most accurate description. Her hair be looking like disheveled. You know what I'm saying? Like, she be loud, eating, no self-awareness, you know? That was the most accurate description that someone could have given it. Her display. Let's continue.
And Papoose using you, bitch. Okay? That's just what it is.
In case you didn't, let me go back. In case you didn't hear that one last time.
That's what keep effing you up in the midst of all of this. Not to mention, you dress like a drunk homeless bitch in the middle of Skid Row. And Papoose using you, bitch. Okay? That's just what it is.
I'm gonna give him a round of applause on that one. Now, I don't know. You guys tell me. Has he been on Clarissa this whole time, or is it just like more people are showing up, like Cam Newton, like more Facebookers, more TikTokers, more YouTubers, right? Is it that, like I said, the internet is becoming more calibrated to her BS? So even people that once supported her and defended her are now like, yo, I can't even defend this mess. Is it? What y'all think? Me, I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of people are like, first of all, like the girl, one of the content creators I reacted to up here said, you know, Papoose don't even rein you in. He don't even care. You know? So it was like, what's his end goal? To just kind of like make you look crazy until you can't look crazy anymore, and then he could use that as an excuse to either A, leave, or depending on how far in he is and depending on how many contracts he made you sign, B, put himself in control of your money. I don't know. But I would really love to know, you know, and I'm not talking about like internet answer. I would want to the fly on the wall answer. Is Clarissa happy right now? Is Clarissa happy right now? Because you could say it with your mouth that you're happy, but your face does not show happiness. The eating, the manic eating, that's a sign of depression. Every time something happens or you get some form of bad news, you're eating. I've seen it, I've reacted to it several times. You start eating. Those are all signs that this may not be the best situation for you. Take some time. And I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I didn't add it to this one, but I think that's going to be a point in my duty to find nice pictures of Claressa. At least one, just like how I did that last time, or nice footage of her. Because she comes over here. She cusses me out every video. She calls me old, broke, grandma, etc. And I welcome it. I don't care because I'm from New York. I got tough skin. I don't care. However, I'm going to continue to add some good looking photos or video footages of her to my videos in some capacity. I'll figure out a way just in hopes of maybe seeing yourself will make you want to get back to yourself. You're an athlete. I believe in you. You can get back to yourself. Discipline, getting the noise from around you, getting out of that contract, whatever the hell kind of contract it is, getting out of it. You messed up the Salida Promotions contract, but you know what? Let me tell you what I would do. If I was your manager, this is what I recommend you do. I recommend you consider figuring out how to get out of that Win Records, Salida Promotions debacle of a contract. Consider, I know you love Papoose and you don't want to live without him, but consider either at the very minimum going private. Let us wonder. Like, I wonder if they're together. Did they break up? We haven't seen any Papoose and Claressa. Make it like that, right? However you want to do it. If you want to break up with him, this is what I would say. If you wanted to break up with him. But let's say you just want to keep it private because you know you love him and you believe in him. Okay, keep it private. So consider getting back to your weight. Consider your weight discipline, your food discipline. Consider keeping that relationship situation with him private. Consider getting out that contract. Consider Chris Cyborg's $2 million deal. That'll be $2 million to you. Not something that has to be filtered through Win Records for approval, through Salida Promotions for approval, and then back around, and then you only get $50 after everybody else get their cut. Chris Cyborg has a $2 million bag for you. You said you had a $3 million signing bonus. Well, hell, you'll be knocking that out by 75%. Okay? With the $2 million deal, profit to yourself. Consider that. See how that feels to be that free agent. And maybe consider just taking on fights like that. Chris Cyborg is want to do $2 million. Take that fight. Put that in your pocket. Cut Win Records out. Cut Papoose out. Cut Salida out too. Put that money directly in your pocket. Be your agent. You know? Consider that. Consider, I don't know. Consider, maybe consider me. Because I can help you out. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. And you all join me in the comments, right? Don't meet me there, beat me there. Y'all tell me what y'all feel. How do y'all feel about neither go? I'm about to say Nigeria, but yeah, neither Nigeria. We'll call her Nigeria. Drinking and like to me, I really didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like the representation of it all. But interestingly enough, things that stood out to me, she said that she don't steal money, but she still rented property. So she is fessing up and admitting to being holding that house hostage, and they're not getting their granny house back from her in whatever capacity they think they can. That's what I got from her. I also got from her that there's NDAs in place. Now, if there's an NDA in place on her, then that could be, threesomes. I could see that. I could see why, right? And then she said that Papoose put an NDA on her because I feel like he know he's been pillow talking with her, and he know what he's been saying to her, around regarding Remy to gaslight her to do whatever he wants her to do. Am I making any sense? So he knows what to do to gaslight her and get what he wants out of her, and that's what he did. So, but you know what? You can't go on the internet and then be like, oh, Remy did this, Remy did that, because probably 9 times out of 10 it ain't true. He just did that to gas you up so you could be the, put the battery in your back and you could be the Energizer Bunny and do what he wants you to do on the drop of a dime. But an NDA in place is going to do two things. You're not going to tell what he do to you either. So if he is, which brings me up to the next part, if he is beating on her, allegedly, right? I hope not. But if he is beating on her, dotting them I's and crossing them T's, you can't tell about that either. In his mind. And if any of that stuff is true, girl, run. Run away. Because one woman already went to jail on his watch. You blame that woman. But these days, nowadays, we're seeing different things that's leading us to believe otherwise. But I will say the common denominator between Remy's bad times and your current bad times is Papoose. That's the common denominator. Now, some people be like, oh, well, what about the good years? Well, something hit me the other day. When Remy and Papoose first got together and everything went down, they were in a new relationship. So they were still in honeymoon phase, if you will, right? So they didn't get a chance to live out the boyfriend and girlfriend situations and, get your inks and your unks and your different things that makes people, like what do you like about them? What don't you like about them? You kind of study their habits. Are they neat? Are they dirty? Are they healthy? Like, you start to figure it out. And then as you start to figure it out, then you also start to figure out if this is something you want to pursue further, right? Or you're like, I dated this dude for 2 years, but that ain't it, and move on, right? That earliness of it all, coupled with the 8-year sentence, coupled with a dude that's like, I'm here for you, I love you, I'm here for you, for the whole 8 years. That's enough to make you be like, damn, I don't even like dude, or I'm not happy, but I'll stick it out because of the loyalty of it all. I can see that playing out like that. Never make any sense. You come home, dude took all your money, you don't got nothing, mismanaged everything, and then you're like, damn. And then he's telling you like, yo, let's just do a Love and Hip Hop show and get that money back, because that's going to keep him tied to fame, while you feeling like, well, damn, this is the least I could do because I got to get my money back, and we'll be helping each other out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I pulled from the ether the other day. Like, ultimately, it was an early situation which she didn't have the ability to figure out if she even wanted to be there or not. And then she's been in it for 8 years through the incarceration, and then when she came home, she no money, and then it was like, hey, we want you guys on Love and Hip Hop, and that was a great way to bring in money. End up being there longer than they should. Am I making any sense? They ended up being there longer than they should. So to me, I feel like, and I would say, like, once again, Claressa, the common denominator between Remy's bad or worst time since anything, all that we know about her, right? Her dark time when she was in jail and all that stuff was on Papoose's watch. Your dark time, where you look like you're aging, you're getting banned from, boxing events that you love them people, and you love to go out there and hang out with them, and you love everything about it. You're now being pulled away from your livelihood. Now you can't show up at events that you want to go to. You can say you can, and you can still are, but you didn't have a lot of this around you. Look at your common denominators. Google it if you need to. What is a common denominator? Papoose is the common denominator. And I'm going to leave it right there, guys. You join me in the comments and y'all tell me what y'all think. Hit the markers. You know what I'm going to say. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. And right now, I'm going to hit you with the motto and I'm going to leave you with the brand. If you like anything that I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. And from my lips to your ears, you know I love you, right? But I need you to love me. So go ahead, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications, all right? Then share it. Tell a friend, and tell a friend. And until next time, it's your girl, Gangali. And it's She Could Talk the Podcast. And I'm out. Peace.